My timing has worked out. As Europe is closing, I made it back to the U.S. and then, you know, now the rest of my European shows are shut at the moment. Everything got canceled. So I'm gonna stay in the U.S. a little longer, and then I go to South America in January. So I think I timed everything just right. I mean, I can't say that anybody in my family is musical, so I don't think it was family. You know, I think it was just friends. I was sneaking out of the house. I was going dancing. I was sneaking into parties that I was too young to go to. And then I think it was, I got lucky. I think I said it in some other interview. Like, in my city, there was a club called First Avenue where Prince filmed Purple Rain, like the most famous, you know, Prince movie. So that was the club that we all would go on Sunday nights for dance music. And then when you walked out of the club, you'd see promoters like, if you like hip hop, we're the hip hop promoter. If you like techno, here's the techno promoter. And I think you got lucky. You either got taken to a really commercial party or you found the underground party. You had a 50-50 chance. I got lucky. I was taken to the underground party. I didn't waste my time at the more commercial one, but it could have gone either direction, I think, and maybe I would have found my way. But I think I found my way directly to the underground pretty quick. You know, you don't feel the same every day you wake up. You don't, you know, maybe you have the same job and you go and you do the same exercise every day, but you don't feel the same. And with music, I'm expressing emotion. I'm not just playing this track, this track, this track. To me, when you say the word painting, I mean, all these tracks are colors, moods, feelings. And so I don't know what's gonna happen. I have the music I've selected. I have too much music because I'm playing digital, so there's even more. And I mean, every day I feel different, and I'm trying to be honest with what I feel that day. So this is why you're hearing 4 different versions of me, because tomorrow I'm gonna feel different than today. Yesterday I felt different than the day before that. So I mean, that's the difference, I think, between being an entertainer who just plays new tracks or hot things, or being an artist who just tries to find a way to express. And I'm trying to find a way to express. And maybe it's just generational from the people I watched, but like, you know, of course we're DJs. By definition, a DJ is an entertainer, but to me, a DJ doesn't have to be an entertainer. A DJ can be an artist if you take it to that level. And if you take it to an art level, then it's more than just you playing music. It has the potential to be something deeper, something more connecting. I mean, you know, Theo Parrish said it well, like, you don't know, every night you're playing, you could change somebody's life. So don't just be there just to entertain and actually like give your heart every time you play. That could be the last time that human being hears music. They could get hit by a bus when they walk out of there, and that'd be the last moment. So play your heart out every time you do it. And I mean, I'm chasing that every night. I'm not gonna achieve that every night, but at least if that's my goal, I'm trying to do it. And the generational thing comes from, like, I watch DJs perform on a level where you came to the room, you were there, it was like an art exhibit. You were there to watch them, and you were there to check out their art. And if you didn't like it, you would still give them 20, 30 minutes to see if you could connect. If not, you leave the room, you wait for the next DJ. But they weren't there to entertain you. They were there to show you what they did. And so you had to get on their level. You had to join them, and then they open this kind of space for you to have your experience. You know, like, you could be on this side of the room or on that side of the room hearing the same thing and have a totally different experience. My role is to just open that up for you and to let you have that, you know, while I'm having my own experience even. So we're all trying to have something. I mean, at some point, clubs and music and all these things, they started watching festivals, and festivals mimic concerts. They put the DJ on a stage, big visuals, and everyone is facing one direction. But if you look at the oldest clubs and even the oldest raves and all these things where we come from, the DJ was never on a stage. The DJ was with the people, or maybe away from the view of the people, and people faced every direction. They faced each other, they faced the back to the speaker. So a part of it just has to be like, we need to stop looking at concerts and festivals as our influence, and we need to look at clubs, lofts, warehouses, and create this experience that brings people back together instead of all of them just looking at one thing. people will go wherever the music is coming from. So you put speakers all around the room, put the DJ in some random location, and watch what happens. People forget about staring and they start dancing with each other. You know, and at a concert, people don't always dance. They pump their fists, they shake left to right, but that's not dancing. If you want to create dancing, turn off the lights, make people not focus on each other and their look and everything else, and it becomes natural to just let go. I mean, with the wall of sound, it's the same thing. I want to show people the experience that changed my life with music. Like, I already went and heard DJs at a normal party. It was amazing. It already caught me. And then when I heard music on the wall of sound in the mid-90s, that changed my life. Like, to hear music on that level, it's no longer about hearing it. You feel it. Like, the kick drum is what moves your feet. The mid-range gives you that emotion and lets you breathe. And like the hi-hats and the claps is what jerks your body like kind of left to right. And when you experience it on that level, it's not you thinking, what am I doing? It's your body is just reacting. And that changes everything. I mean, in a city like Minneapolis, we don't follow trends because we don't have this global attention on our city. So we take what we want from everywhere and we make it ours. And so we don't live up to any hype, we don't live up to any bullshit. And I think in a city of that size, things can stay authentic much longer. Because when you live in a big city like Mexico City even, you guys have probably even a lot of competition from other people who have their definition of what techno is, you know, or what is trendy or what is hype. And in a city like Minneapolis, we don't have to do that. Like, really, really and truly, it's easier to stay authentic in a place that is that level.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, you know? A few years ago, you know, and I don't even want to blow it up because sometimes things can become too big too quick, but like our friends' camp out that they did last year, The Great Beyond, everyone told me that what they created was very special. One of the homies in the room was there. And, you know, and like, but it's funny, when I mentioned that festival to a few other friends in New York who run Unter, my friend Seva said, I don't want to tell anyone about it because I don't want it to become worse or bigger or different than it is, because you guys have something so special and it's limited to like just the knowledge of a couple friends outside of that circle. And I even told the guys after they did it last year, I said, you're gonna get more popular as you go. Try to keep the amount of people limited because it'll force you to paint with less colors, but then it keeps it perfect. The most safe answer I can give you without throwing anything under the bus, because I have my own personal opinions, but my personal opinions are, I'm gonna say, are mine. Pure house and techno has survived every hype. And right now, just like 5 years ago, like 10 years ago, like 20 years ago, hypes come. And hypes come and they go, and they come and they go. And from every hype, you get 5% that are authentic in that hype, and they will survive that hype. And then the other 95%, they move to the next hype when it happens. And right now in techno, we're in a moment of hype for fast. How fast? Everyone wants to go faster than fast. But they're losing groove by going that fast. They're losing a little bit. Now there's some very good artists in that hype right now, and they will survive it. But that hype will slow down at some point. And people get tired, people grow up, people move on, and another hype will take its place. So for me, as much as I'm aware of the things that come and go, I try not to pay attention to them because it's not going to change my style. It's not going to change what I play or who I am. And maybe I'll find a cool record that'll sound good slowed down just a little bit. And when things were really slow, I found slow records that would sound really good sped up. So I just look at it as if it's good music or not good music in my personal taste, then it's interesting to me. But I'm happy to see new things coming. I'm happy to see new artists evolve and develop. And I'll be happy to see certain trends slow down a little bit. But you know, one of the first things I said in the beginning of the pandemic, for our friend Steve in Minneapolis even, was I did this interview with him, and I said, I really hope that one thing that comes from the pandemic is that we find more amazing locals and local scenes and build local scenes. As much as I love being a headliner and I love being a guest and I love being booked to come places like this, I really wish you guys would have absolutely success without me. You know, like have 500 or 1,000 people come to every event you do, even if it's just locals, because to me that would be amazing. And like that's how Minneapolis actually survives and what makes my hometown work. We don't need guests. We can get 300 to 500 people to come to any techno show just with locals. And I think that's something special. And the world now with how popular techno and house is, in bigger cities, promoters get stuck competing with, we have to book a guest because this promoter books a guest and the crowds don't pay attention. But I hope with some of the downtime that Europe is having, that other cities can grow some attention for themselves. Yeah. First, I'm crossing my fingers for Bassiani, because a week before they made this announcement that they're going to reopen another club, Kitty, and another club called Club or whatever, they were raided by the police a week ago, and they got fined thousands of dollars or euros or whatever the currency is in Georgia. And I fear that the government will use COVID and other things as an excuse to try to mess with these clubs again. Fingers crossed, knock on wood that they don't. But what's special about Bassiani and why I loved and joined them right away when they offered me an opportunity to be a resident, you go there, it's different than the Central European or Western European scene or even America, because this is new. You're talking about a country that 10 years ago, 12 years ago was ruled by full-on communism and is just opening up their freedoms. So you feel that energy in the crowd, that these people appreciate that you're there. This is not like I can go see you again next week. I can go see another DJ next week. They're still growing, and that energy of growth makes the energy on the dance floor 10 times more meaningful than a lot of my Central European parties. Not to say those aren't good parties, they're just different. I mean, it's a weird one, because I don't ever want to tell somebody you have to do this, 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 and this. And I have sometimes people ask me, yeah, but I don't use my flash on my camera. I don't do this. I'm respectful. I said, if everyone was respectful, I would never have to have the rule about no cameras. But the problem is I can't teach people what is okay, what is not okay. So it was much easier to just say, no fucking photos, no video, no anything on the dance floor. And when you take that away, people have to think, what else do I do? If they can't touch their phone, maybe they listen. And if they listen, maybe they dance. And if they dance, maybe they meet somebody. Maybe you change everything for them. You change that whole experience. So it's like, I think I'm gonna again compare to food. A good chef, I love sushi. When you go to eat omakase from an amazing sushi chef, they put one piece at a time and they tell you, don't put it in the soy sauce. Don't put wasabi on it. Just put a little lemon on top. This is how it's gonna taste the best. And they're right, because they know how they want you to experience their art. So I know, at least with my music, I want you to be in your head. I want you to dance. I want to give you just enough space. We joke, it's beats for your feet, music for your mind. So it's an opportunity. I want to take away all your distractions and just let you really lose yourself for a minute. And I think how I need you to let go to experience that. And that requires no photos.